Hola, Sabres. Welcome to the first episode of SMTV in December. We are looking forward to continuing Sabres on the Street this month with some super fun questions. Our Sabres sports segment is also back for the winter season. To kick it off, SMTV ventured down to the courts to interview our varsity men's basketball team. What's your name, number, and position?
I'm Charles Orman, 15, and I play center.
Peter Moore, 23, and I'm a point guard.
Brocker Miller, 34, center.
Michael Nesbitt, I'm number 12, and I'm a wing.
My name is Yario Chudgar. I'm number 3, and I play point guard.
And what's one word to describe your team?
Crazy. My teammates are crazy.
We're all hardworking and charismatic people.
That was 2 words.
Tough. We tough.
Awesome,
Why?
because I think we're really awesome people.
Probably idiots.
Why?
I mean, honestly, just look at the group right here. I mean, no, put the camera on.
Pan?
I mean, let's just be honest.
What are your predictions for the season?
Honestly, I think as a team, we're just gonna mesh pretty well together as the season goes on, and we're gonna bring out those tough wins in the long haul.
One of my predictions this season is that we're going to be playing some good basketball this season. We're going to be giving the fans a show.
Do good at basketball.
LeBron or Jordan? Why?
Brooke Lopez.
I gotta go Michael Jordan. Really, because he's a trailblazer. You feel me? Like, he's the best of all time. You feel me? That's really all there is to it.
Michael Jordan, because he's just the GOAT.
MJ,
Why?
because he's a GOAT.
What team are you most excited to play against?
Probably Indiana,
Why?
because our old teammate transferred there. So,
Myers Park High School.
Are you going to win?
Yes.
How'd you go?
Why?
Because I just transferred from there, and I want to go against my old team.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the 7th, our wrestling team competes at AK at 6:30, and all basketball teams will play this week. December 6th, JV girls basketball will play at Cuthbertson at 4 p.m. December 9th, the rest of our teams will play at the Palisades. Girls varsity will start at 6. As for the boys, JV starts at 4:30 and varsity at 7:30.
Sabres, don't lose motivation just yet. Break is almost here. Let's check our winter break countdown. This week for Sabres on the Street, we decided to interview some of our Sabre teachers. Here's some of their stories about you guys.
What's your name? Hi, my name's Elizabeth Kennedy. Miss Thompson.
My name is Mr. Bello.
John Kurzawa. Kevin Klein.
Caitlin Craig.
William Polk.
Mr. Bergeron.
Eric White.
Mr. Weinkoop.
Joe Evans. Coach Evans.
My name is Miss Hairston.
I'm Mr. Lyle, Dean of Students.
Mr. Mealy.
How long have you been at South Meck?
12 years.
I've been at South Meck for about 3 years now. 24 years.
This is my 7th year.
How long have you been here? 34?
This is my first.
This will be my 3rd week.
This is my 5th year here. 9th year.
This is my 4th year.
Since last January.
This is my 2nd year at South Mecklenburg.
And what is the funniest thing that you have seen at South Meck?
So one day we got a call from a teacher, and she's like, there's this kid and he's got something in his book bag. I really need you to look at it, investigate. So we called all security. We showed up at the classroom, pulled the student out. We opened the book bag, and there is a pet snake in his book bag, yellow, 5 feet long snake in his book bag that we had to then call animal security, call animal control. So that's probably the craziest thing.
My first year teaching here, we were COVID. So we were virtual. Half people were here and half people were virtual. One of my fabulous students was Zooming on a boat.
So a long time ago, we used to have big pep rallies in the gym, and when they did them, they would have skits. And they would make fun of things that were going on kind of in the world, just kind of like Saturday Night Live, except for at South Meck. So one year, it came right after the Miss America pageant, where there was this contestant, and she had answered this question about maps, and it was the stupidest answer ever, and the whole United States was making fun of it.
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere such as, and I believe that they should our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. Or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries. So we will be able to build up our future for our children.
Thank you very much.
And so they made fun of it in the skit at the pep rally. Except for what also happened at pep rallies was that graduates came back to the pep rallies, and brought whoever their family a lot of times came. And this one graduate from 2 years before came back to watch the pep rally, and he brought his girlfriend with him. And his girlfriend was the beauty pageant contestant that had made the stupid answer in the video. And they had to cancel the skit after the first pep rally, and only 200 people saw it. It was hilarious. We were talking about it for years.
So when I used to teach at Hopewell, our big rival at the time was North Mech. And every year at the North Mech Hopewell football game, something happened. And one year, we had a flyover. We had a young man who had his pilot's license, and he flew in one of those little small prop planes, flew over the field, turned around, came flying back, and he had dropped a football and a pair of cleats out of the plane. And he had kids and teachers sign the football. And the cops were waiting for him when he landed at the airport in Lincolnton. And the next day, Monday, Homeland Security was all over Hopewell interviewing everybody that signed the football.
Mr. Newman, hey! That's the funniest thing.
Him in a Speedo. Eating chocolate.
So the first time that I talked in front of my students, because I teach ASL and it's voice off, their jaws hit the floor and they were like, "Oh my God, Miss Caitlin, you sound so country." And it was just hilarious.
15 boys in 2-stall bathroom.
What were they doing?
Standing there, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Well, this one involves me. When I was in 7th grade, we were in an English class, and it was an old building, and there was no air conditioning, so I had to have the windows open. And when the teacher would be teaching and wasn't looking, I'd sneak out of my seat and crawl out the window and drop down, and then run around the front door and come in and knock on the door, because she kept her door locked, to get back in. And she'd come and open the door, and she would say, "What are you doing out here?" And I said, "Well, you said I could go to the bathroom." And she goes, "No, I didn't." I said, "Yeah, you did." And she would look at the class, and they all nodded and said, "Yeah, you said he could go." So I'd come, she "All right." And I'd come in and sit down, and then the kid next to me would do the same thing. And he'd sneak around, and she opened the door. She goes, "Now, what are you doing out there?" And he said, "You said I could go after him." So we just tried to drive her insane, and it worked.
First thing I've seen since I've been here was Coach Rocky White. When he was coaching the football team, there was a pep rally in the stadium, and the whole student body was in the stadium. And out of nowhere, Coach Rocky White dropped down and did a full split in front of everybody and hopped back up.
Probably the times that I go and cover a class and somebody tries to kind of be disrespectful or something like that, and I'll freestyle back at them and flame them, and the rest of the class will be like, "Ooh," and then the kid will just put their head down. You don't realize sometimes you can just freestyle and flame a kid, and they just shut them down. It just kind of solves problems.
Funniest thing that happened during my time here was this year, Coach Christy Mitchell, who's another PE teacher with us, found a mouse in her desk drawer and freaked out, and I had to get it out of her drawer for her.
Ooh, was it alive?
Yes, his name was Crackers.
Okay, so it didn't happen at South Mech, but it happened since I've been teaching. Okay, I had a kid that got their finger stuck in a tuba. Okay. There's a ring that you can pull this little slide out. He got his finger stuck in there. We actually had to call the principal. I had to say, "Hey, I've got a kid stuck in a tuba." So yeah, his finger was stuck in a tuba. We had to go get some oil, and it was a big to-do.
Okay, so this student that I had as a sophomore, and then he was a junior. I was teaching out in the trailers, aka the learning cottages, and I see him skipping class. He's walking through the parking lot heading towards C building. And I called his name out, let's pretend his name is Charlie. I go, "Hey Charlie, where are you going?" And this is what he does. He does this, and then he keeps walking as if he's now invisible to me. And I'm like, "I can see you. I know it's you under your coat." And he just kept walking as if he's 3 and you know what I mean? And they don't know what's happening.
Before we go, just a couple of reminders. Please join Future Business Leaders of America for their first ever prospective members meeting on December 12th. It will be in F209 at 2:20. It's a non-committal meeting for students interested in a career in business. There will be food, conversation, and more.
For those participating, ACT testing is this Saturday the 10th at 7 a.m. in your designated testing location. Make sure to get a good night's sleep and don't be late. Good luck. Also, heads up, end of the semester testing and midterms will start after winter break. Exact dates will be announced soon.
Juniors and seniors, prom tickets are on sale now with an early bird deal. Make sure to purchase them now before the prices go up.
Finally, make sure to follow us on Instagram at SMTOfficial and buy your yearbook. We hope everyone has a great rest of their week. Vamos Sabres!